Hello everyone, glad to be back. A long time since I had a stream because of some technical issues, but hopefully today's stream will go smoothly without any issues with the internet and programs. So first of all, thank you all for participating in this stream. Hopefully more people will join later on, and of course many thanks to all the members of our community who will watch this video in a recording. And well, today is of course 28th of April. Now it's 9 o'clock in the evening Moscow time, and as always I will in the beginning, I will share with you some news. I prepared some news summary, and then I will get engaged in the chat. And if I see any questions, I will try my best to give you informative answer. And well, same time I have some announcements to make. And after news summary, I will share with you these ideas that I have about the program. Hopefully, I will not forget about it. So yes, that's been said. Let's talk about some news now, and I hope sound is good. By the way, I hope sound is okay, video is okay, and well, let's go through some news summary. I will start with this report from RIA Novosti that Russian Defense Ministry confirmed the information that Novobakhmutovka in DPR is under full Russian control. Novobakhmutovka is on southern side of Ocheretino, of course, and members of our community already know about this news. I reported like 2 days ago that Novobakhmutovka is under Russian control, but being quite conservative, Russian Defense Ministry only now confirmed this information. This is Novobakhmutovka, by the way, this settlement. This is Ocheretino. And as I said in morning's update, not just Novobakhmutovka under Russian control, but also Solovyovo, this settlement here. If we zoom in, I mean, you can see that it's quite a small settlement, like just a few roads, a few dozen buildings. So Novobakhmutovka under Russian control, Solovyovo under Russian control, Ocheretino is under Russian control. Number of channels are reporting, number of sources that Novokalinovo and Keramic is under Russian control, and Russian forward units of Russian armed forces are even in Arkhangelsk already. So Ukrainian defense lines or defense lines of Kiev regime are basically collapsing in this area, and reports are coming in that in this area, significant number of Kiev regime forces have been encircled, and according to some reports, now negotiations are taking place, and Russian side is giving opportunity to the Kiev forces to lay down arms and surrender. Let's see what additional information we will receive on this matter. Also, by the way, maybe I missed this in previous days, but or maybe this is today's development. I'm not quite sure, but I didn't remember that Nitailova was under Russian control. But today, even this map is confirming that Nitailova, which is on the northern western side of Pervomaysk, is under full Russian control, under complete Russian control. Russian forces conducted offensive operations in this direction, and Kiev regime's defense lines collapsed here. Also, I expect military channels to report about this development today and tomorrow. I really don't think that I miss this development in previous days. I believe this is today's information. Let's continue with the news. RIA Novosti is reporting that press spokesman of Russian President Dmitry Peskov commented today about developments on the line of contact, and he said that Russian side is observing panic among Kiev regime forces, which is, I believe, true, and collapse, basically total collapse of Kiev regime's defense lines on Avdiivka direction clearly indicates that most likely Ukrainian armed forces or Kiev regime's formations are on the verge of collapse all along the front line, not just on Avdiivka sector of the front. So I will agree with the assessment of Peskov that there is a panic among military personnel of Kiev regime. RIA Novosti also reported that according to Russian partisans that are operating in Nikolaev region, as a result of strikes in 2 hotels where foreign mercenaries, English-speaking foreign mercenaries, were located in Nikolaev region, 14 of those foreign mercenaries were killed, and a significant number was wounded. I report about this in the morning's update. My understanding is that these English-speaking mercenaries were British intelligence officers and British military personnel, officers of British armed forces disguised as mercenaries, because, as we know, basically all operations that formally Kiev regime is conducting on the southern side of or southern sectors of the front line are under scrutiny of and under control of British militaries and intelligence service. So therefore, most likely these killed 14 mercenaries, they were once again most likely British citizens, and the wounded personnel was also citizens of UK. Maybe in upcoming days we will learn some more information about it. RT is reporting also that Russia, with a strike, destroyed the Ukrainian drone base. So Russian military has carried out several strikes and destroyed Ukrainian warehouses storing attack drones. That was reported by Russian Defense Ministry. This happened in the Dnipropetrovsk area, by the way. Kiev regime calls, or Ukrainian side calls, Dnipropetrovsk city. Also, TASS news agencies report that according to Russian Defense Ministry, during the previous night and the early hours of today, Russian air defense systems shut down 46 Ukrainian drones and 5 ATACMS missiles. So Kiev regime is quite actively using ATACMS missiles, these long-range ballistic missiles that the US delivered to Kiev regime. According to Western media outlets, more than 100 of those missiles have been transferred to Kiev regime in March by Pentagon, and well, Russian air defense systems are ready to deal with this aerial threat, and during the night 5 of those missiles have been shut down. Also, RIA Novosti's report that Lithuania's ambassador in Sweden made quite disturbing statements, by the way, on his Twitter account, I believe, or account on X. And basically he posted, let me show you, that's what he posted, photos of Crimean Bridge, ATACMS missile, and President of Russian Federation. I mean, if he's thinking about, if he's disturbed about some, basically he wanted to create an impression that Crimean Bridge was attacked by ATACMS missile, and Putin was saddened by this. First of all, I don't really understand what is that. What is wrong with this? People that are in charge or in so-called elites of the NATO member states, what is this obsession with the Crimean Bridge? This bridge was targeted a few times before, and in quite short time, Russian side, deal with the damage, and bridge was operational again. But that's what this individual ambassador of Lithuania in Sweden stated, that if someone has not had a chance to take a photo at the Kerch Bridge, it's still a time. I mean, this is bad, by the way. I don't care about this Linas Linkevičius, who is just a like small fish from Lithuania. I mean, he's nobody basically, but still he's official. He's official of the NATO member state, and he's openly stating and supporting terrorist attack on Crimea Bridge, which is unbelievable, man. This is just unbelievable. At this point, it seems like there is no nothing Western so-called elites can do that is crossing the red lines of the morality. Not the red lines of Russian Federation, but universal some principles and morale. I mean, these imbeciles are extremely degraded. I mean, degenerates, and that's what they are, really. And I mean, normal country with normal government will recall this so-called ambassador from Sweden and fire straight away, maybe even charge for perpetrating into terrorism or to promoting terrorist activity. But of course, Lithuania not gonna do this, because leadership of Lithuania are most likely even worse than this so-called ambassador. And well, there was a response from Russian side on this, and US lapdogs will whine. That's Moscow's response to EU's nation's threat. Lithuanian ambassador to Sweden, Linas Linkevičius, and other US lapdogs will regret their gaffes. Russia's deputy representative to UN, Dmitry Polyansky, has said in response to really threat against the Crimean Bridge made by Linkevičius on social media on Saturday. So this is Russian response. These puppets basically are disgrace for humanity, and that's the only way we can see it. And once again, I really don't understand what is about this fascination, or how should I say, about Crimean Bridge. I mean, they are dreaming about destroying this bridge. I mean, they really are sick individuals, isn't it? This bridge, by the way, once again, it was targeted a few times, but Russian side restored that bridge in quite short time. But I mean, let's take a look at the map, by the way. Let's take a look at the map. This is Crimean Peninsula. Bridge is located here. Bridge is located here, and look at the land bridge that Russia has. That's a land bridge, by the way. Even if NATO managed to damage Crimean Bridge, what will it change? It will change nothing, strategically speaking, because Russia has a land bridge towards Crimea. So I really don't understand what is wrong with these so-called politicians of the collective West. I mean, they really are sick, man. They really are sick. That's the only explanation. Anyway, let's continue. RBK News Agency is reporting that head of Ukraine's general staff, General Syrsky, or so-called General Syrsky, made a statement that Kyiv regime forces regrouped from several directions in a DPR. Basically, Syrsky confirmed that Kyiv regime forces are losing positions, are unable to hold on to defense lines, and he's just using different wording for that, but well, he cannot say that entire defense line in Avdiivka sector has collapsed, isn't it? Can he? And well, they are regrouping now. Okay. And what is interesting, Syrskyi is operating with the wording that, I mean, to save lives of the Ukrainian military personnel, they made decision to regroup, and this comes from someone that has a nickname in Ukraine, by the way. In Ukraine, has a butcher. That's his nickname among Ukrainian military and among Ukrainian civilians. Butcher. That's how they call him, because he did not care about lives of the military personnel, and he sacrificed during the Bakhmut operation tens of thousands of Ukrainian military personnel. Anyway, let's continue. TASS News Agency's report that Maria Zakharova responded on some rumors that are circulating on internet, including in media, in the Western media, that well, European leadership don't want to steal Russian assets right now, because they want to use these frozen assets of Russia as a leverage during the negotiations with Moscow. And Germany, for example, according to these rumors, German officials are thinking that they may exchange, they may give Russia an ultimatum that they will unfreeze Russian assets and give it back to Moscow if Moscow will withdraw forces from some territories that are under Russian control right now. I mean, crazy idea, man. Once again, I find it more and more difficult to take seriously anybody among Western leadership, Western political leadership, because no adequate human being can come up with such an idea that Russia may give up some territories for some 100, 200, 300 billion or even trillion. It's just so stupid. But according to rumors, by the way, including publications in the Western media, that's an idea that is circulating among European political elites, and Germany is even pushing this narrative. And Zakharova reacted on this, and she says exactly that this is not happening. If if EU will steal frozen Russian assets, Russia will respond on this. It will harm, first of all, EU's economy, EU's economical and financial interests, which is correct. And of course, there can be no discussion about Russia giving up of some territories for those assets, man. It's just I don't think anybody in Russia will even think about this. I mean, it's just crazy. Anyway, TASS News Agency's report that head of Polish Foreign Ministry, Sikorski, made a statement that Poland has no information about preparations from the Russian side to use nuclear weapons. Okay, well, quite obvious statement. Why should Russia use nuclear weapons? I mean, this paranoia is getting to these so-called elites in the West, by the way, and also propagandists of the Western ruling class. Paranoia, they are spreading propaganda, and eventually they starting believing in this crap that they are spreading and getting paranoid as time goes by, because otherwise, why would anybody ask even Polish foreign minister if they have any information that Russia is preparing some nuclear strikes? I mean, and why would he even take such a question seriously, or why would he even speak about this topic? Because this is nonsensical. With same success, he can talk about aliens on a I don't know, man, on one of the moons of the Jupiter, for example. It's total nonsense, isn't it? I mean, it's. But anyway, Warsaw is confirming what we already know, that Russia has no plans to use nuclear weapons. And as Russian high-ranking officials stated many times, if only way Russia will consider using nuclear weapons if Russia is under existential threat. That's the only way Russia will use nuclear weapons. If state security, if citizens of Russia in large are under existential threat. That's it. That's the Russian military doctrine. And Moscow has no plans to make any changes in this doctrine. TASS news agencies report that, well, Zelensky, by the way, this drug addict, made a statement that Kiev is in negotiations with Washington about 10-year plan of support of Ukraine by US, with financial, military, and so on, which is once again, I mean, I have to comment on this. I have to share this information because, after all, at least formally, Zelensky is the head of Kiev regime. But I mean, this is nonsense, isn't it? Zelensky will be out of office in next couple of months maximum, and modern Ukraine as a state will be finished in this year or maximum next year. So what Zelensky is talking about? What 10 years? I don't know, man. I just don't get it. At this point, as I said, man, it's almost impossible to take seriously anybody from Kiev regime or from Collective West, anybody from the leadership there. Vzгляд newspapers report that head of European diplomacy, Josep Borrell, once again reiterated that Europeans are not going to die for Donbass, and Europe, EU, and probably he meant NATO also will do whatever they can to make sure that Ukrainians will also not die or stop dying. And well, if Borrell was serious about it, it's quite easy to end this conflict, isn't it? All they need to do is to make one call and tell Zelensky, you know what, that's it. Enough is enough. You will now start talking with Moscow, and you will agree on whatever terms Moscow has to end this hostility. If Borrell and EU officials really want to save citizens of Ukraine, that's what they will do. Same goes for London and Washington, but of course they don't care about Ukrainian citizens or Ukraine. They will sacrifice everybody there, all of them, for their geopolitical agenda, and that's what they are doing, basically, I mean, quite effectively, by providing Kyiv regime with more money and more weapons. It's more than 2 years now that this is going on. RBK news agency is reporting that Kazakhstan, by the way, Astana, capital of Kazakhstan, official Astana, denies information that is spread in the Russian segment of internet that Kazakhstan sold its fighter jets, its planes, military planes, to Kyiv regime. Unfortunately, there is a possibility that Kazakhstan sell planes to third party, and those planes eventually end up in Ukraine, despite Astana denying this, because according to information that was published in the media in November, I believe, in February, by the way, in February there was a tender in Kazakhstan to utilize to you know what, I'm gonna translate this entire sentence to be more precise, by the way. So prior to this, information appeared on a social network that in February, through an electronic tender, 81 aircraft were sold by Kazakhstan to an unknown buyer for disposal. This is old, at least for Kazakhstan, this is old planes that they wanted to get rid of, and they had a tender, and some unnamed unknown buyer brought these planes, including Su-24 frontline bombers, MiG-23 and MiG-29 fighter jets, as well as MiG-27 fighter bombers. At the same time, the tender allowed the sale of the equipment to a foreign bidder, and a fine was provided for failure to fulfill the disposal obligation, which made it possible to keep the equipment and transfer it to Ukraine. So in this contract, Astana was agreed to fine a bidder if these planes would not be destroyed, which basically leave door open for whoever brought these planes to did not destroy them, just pay fine and then transfer these planes to Kiev regime. And that's why I'm afraid that there is a possibility that some planes from, at least some planes from Kazakhstan, most likely Su-24s and MiG-29s, eventually end up in Ukraine, because I did not see any reports that Kiev regime used MiG-23s or MiG-27s. I just never, in these 2 years since the beginning of special military operation, I never see any information about these planes, MiG-23 fighter jet and MiG-27 fighter bomber, while Su-24s and MiG-29s are quite actively used by Kiev regime. So it is unfortunate, of course, it is unfortunate, but there is a possibility that planes from Kazakhstan eventually end up in hands of Kiev regime, even though Astana officially denies this information. But theoretically it is possible. Probably sometime in the future we will learn some more about it. RT is reporting that Israel gives Hamas one chance to avoid the Rafah invasion. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz has warned that an invasion of the city of Rafah will go ahead unless Hamas agrees to release some of their Israeli hostages still held in Gaza. So, well, unfortunately, things are escalating once again in the Middle East between Israel and Palestine, and at this point it's almost inevitable that IDF will start its ground operation in Rafah, and the president of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas, and by the way, Mahmoud Abbas is in the West Bank, and West Bank is under control of the Fatah organization, while Gaza Strip was under control of Hamas. And well, a leader of the West Bank, or president of Palestine, he is recognized as a leader of the Palestine in its entirety, stated that Israeli operation in Rafah will start in next several days. So it is, I mean, he knows more than any of us, I guess, and he would not say anything like that without being sure that unfortunately there will be military operation in Rafah, and the entire world is against it. Entire world is trying to influence Netanyahu and his government to make sure that IDF will stay away from Rafah, because it's a huge concentration of civilians in that area, and if large-scale military operation will take place, it's hard to even imagine number of casualties among civilians in that case. But seems like Netanyahu's government don't really cares about it, and they will go ahead with this military operation. RBK news agency is reporting that excuse me, according to Financial Times, supporters of former prime ministers of UK, Johnson and Truss, are conducting some internal coup in a Tory, in how they call conservatives, in Conservative Party, and well, they want to remove Sunak, current prime minister Rishi Sunak, from office. Well, maybe they will succeed, who knows. Rumors that Boris Johnson has some ambitions to become a prime minister of UK is circulating for quite a while, and if supporters of Johnson and Truss united against Sunak in this internal civil war among British conservatives, then who knows? Maybe they will succeed. Maybe they will succeed. But in any case, what difference will it make for British citizens or for Europe or the world? No matter who is in office or Prime Minister, Sunak, Johnson, Truss, or whoever, real decision makers will stay in shadows as they are right now and always basically, and they will continue conduct their policies in a way that they want. These guys are just talking heads. That's it, puppets in their heads, in their hands. Axios, according to Rebecca, Axios reported that former US President and possibly future US President Donald Trump made his choice when it comes to vice candidacy for Vice President, and according to Axios, Trump will ask to be his Vice President Governor of North Dakota, Douglas Burgum. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not really interested in US internal policies. I just know some basics, and therefore I have no idea who this Douglas Burgum is, and I don't really care. But maybe Axios is correct, and this individual gonna become a vice president of US, if Trump will win, of course. RT is reporting that EU nation refuses to compensate for slavery. Portugal will not pay reparations for atrocities committed during the transatlantic slave trade and the colonial era. The government of Portugal stated on Saturday, and well, I don't think Portugal is alone in this regards. Probably none of the European states that were colonizing and basically destroying other countries and other cultures will probably even think about paying reparations. Not just reparations, by the way, they are refusing to give back whatever artifacts they stole from former colonies. So I don't think they're gonna even think about paying reparations to nations that they destroy basically and rob. RTs report that China calls for international investigation into the Nord Stream attack. Once again, by the way, China's deputy envoy to the UN has called for an international probe into the bombing of the Nord Stream gas pipelines, adding that Russia would be involved in such an investigation. I can understand the Chinese push of this topic, because we all know who committed this act of international terrorism, isn't it? We all know this, and well, it's definitely is in somewhat Chinese interest to further destroy reputation of the US as a civilized country, and if more countries will see US as a terrorist state, I guess better for China in this confrontation between these two major superpowers. Maybe that's one of the reasons why China is constantly pushing this narrative that the investigation should take place about Nord Stream attacks. Or maybe, by the way, my reading of the picture is mistaken, and the Chinese leadership just wants to, you know, justice to be served. In any case, Moscow will of course support this because it's Russia that was Russian interests, economical interests that was targeted by this terrorist attack. But we all know that there's gonna be no international investigation, and Germany already responded, by the way, and Berlin stated that investigation. German's General Prosecution's Office is already conducting investigation. And basically, Berlin is pointing out that, I mean, there is no need for some additional investigations. As if anybody will trust, or if anybody have any trust in German's investigation or in German's current leadership. Of course, no one will trust them, and most likely after some time this investigation will be shut down, as it was shut down in some other European states just about 2 months ago. But you know, sometime in the future, maybe we will learn some factual. We will see some factual evidences, and maybe some international investigation will really take place. But now, no. Although entire world knows, by the way, that US was behind this act of international terrorism. Biden's administration authorized this terrorist attack. And finally, I will share with you this information that according to Vzglyad newspaper, official Tbilisi, or let's say member of the ruling party in the ruling coalition in the Georgian parliament, Mamuka Mdinaradze, made a statement that relationships between Georgia and US may be needs to be rethink by both sides and also by society in Georgia. And he was arguing that two countries signed an agreement about strategic partnership 15 years ago, but still Georgian citizens are not allowed to travel to US without visas. There is no free travel, there is no trade agreement between the sides. Basically, US did nothing for Georgia to really benefit Georgian citizens. What US did, they used Georgia any way they wanted. And seems like at least some people among current leadership of this former Soviet Republic are not just not happy about it, but they have, I don't know what happened there, but they have enough courage now to even criticize Washington's policies toward Georgia. And the very same Mamuka Mdinaradze is stating that once Georgian parliament will pass law about foreign agents, it will benefit not just Georgian society but also US society, because they will know on what purposes US taxpayers' money is spent worldwide, including in Georgia, which is true, by the way. I mean, US society will receive information that through USAID and some other programs that are government funded, and also, of course, there are some other means also to transfer funds to, you know, to their proxies. I mean, US society will learn that billions, by the way, billions have been spent on Georgia to to improve life of Georgians, but to these billions were spent to create NGOs in Georgia, to create so-called media outlets, and to basically pay for these proxies that they have, to pay on monthly basis. And that's what is happening, by the way. And these protests that are taking place in Tbilisi, for example, against against adopting this law by parliament, law on foreign agents, you think who is financing this? From where the money is coming from? Mainly from US, of course, and US taxpayers, mainly. But anyway, it is interesting to see, by the way, that in recent days and weeks, quite a number of high-ranking officials, in former or current officials in Georgia, are making quite strong statements towards collective West in general, and towards Brussels, London, and Washington. This is somewhat unheard of for decades, but now it's happening, by the way. And well, this is it. This is it when it comes to news summary. How long this news summary was, by the way? Well, 40 minutes. Unbelievable, man. I hope you will find this news interesting, dear friends. And once again, thank you all for your attention, for participating in this stream. Let me And dear friends, now I will go through some questions, of course, and as always, I will repeat, if I may, that you can ask a question through donation alert. Link is under this video in the description box, or through Boosty, by the way, Boosty platform. Donation alert is a platform that works only during the live streams, although Boosty and PayPal works always. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I have some announcements to make, and let me go through these announcements first. So from now on, I had idea, because many members of our community recommended to do this. I will have additional live stream on. I will have additional live stream on Wednesdays and Sundays, of course. So there will be 2 live streams on Wednesdays and Sundays. And if members of our community will have any question or about any topic, or maybe they want to, maybe they have interest in my opinion about some topic, or they want some additional information on certain development, if I will receive questions through Boosty or through PayPal or through Patreon, I will of course keep those questions, and I will answer to those questions during the live streams on Wednesday and Sundays. And also, of course, donation alert is working during the live stream. Hopefully it will work out. I don't know, man. I don't know. Many members of our community said that, I mean, all other channels are doing this, so you should also do it. So I will try. And what else I wanted to say? I forget, by the way. I had some announcements. One was this about additional live stream on Wednesdays, and questions through Boosty, PayPal, and Patreon. If I did not have any questions, I will make live stream. I will go through some headlines, or I will make some news summary, and then I will end live stream on that. If there will be questions, if I will receive questions, I will answer on those questions, of course. That's one thing. And I forget other announcement that I have. Anyway, dear friends, if I remember, I will tell you. And now, by the way, I checked donation alert. I have donation through donation alerts. There is no name who sent donation, but I'm extremely grateful for your support. Keep up your great work, man. Cheers. Rick Tank. Oh, thank you, Rick. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. No questions, and also donation. There is no name here, but comment. I have a comment. Make Lithuania Russia again. Well, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your donation, and I will check Boosty also, by the way. I cannot check PayPal right now during the live stream, because PayPal is Magda is operating with the PayPal. Magda admin on our channel. Many of you, of course, are familiar with her. She is helping me with the PayPal. So I don't, it's she will send me questions if there will be any questions there. But I can right now check Boosty and donation alerts. And on Boosty, I have a donation from Jack Hudson. Thank you very much, Jack, for your support. Hello, Levan and community. I can't stay for the live chat, but wanted to say I appreciate your hard work and well-balanced thinking clearly on display through your reporting. See you out there, Jack. Thank you very much, Jack. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support, your kind words. Thank you. Ань, что? Okay. My wife is telling me that it was Andrea that commented about Lithuania. Thank you very much, Andrea, for your support, for your comment. I appreciate it. Thank you. And dear friends, now let's go through some questions. And please don't get mad at me if I miss your question. But anyway, from now on, I hope it will work out. If it will work out, and if I will receive questions through Boosty, PayPal, or Patreon, I will answer to those questions, and no one will get mad at me that I miss any question. Andrea is commenting, wow, I thought this was just some random troll. This is a real official. Yes, if you are talking about Lithuania, yes, Andrea, it's ambassador. It's ambassador in Sweden. I mean, even though I don't really have any expectations, I mean, serious expectations from political leadership of Lithuania, they already proved that they cannot be taken seriously. I mean, they are really extremists and radicals. They are Russophobes. They are, in my personal opinion, they really are horrible people. And problem, first of all, for Lithuania, and same goes for Latvia and Estonia also. But still, by the way, this individual who posted about Crimean Bridge, I mean, he's ambassador, and when ambassador is acting this way, it's not normal. I mean, what can I say? It's just not normal, man. I don't even know how to comment on this. Normal country will straight away recall ambassador in such an instance and will fire straight away. But Lithuania not gonna do this. Lithuanian government probably will double down on the statement of the ambassador, and that would not be surprised me at all. Let's go through some questions and. Questions. Dear friends, if you can, please write capital Q before a question or entire question with capital letters so that I will see it a little bit easier. And once again, thank you very much. Thank you all for your attention, for participating in the stream, for your comments, and of course, many thanks to all the members of our community who will join later on or maybe watch this stream in a recording. So, Control the Demolition has a question in the black and orange about St. George or Donetsk. What is the story behind the black and orange ribbon? You mean Georgievskaya Lenta? If you mean maybe I don't really understand the question. If you mean Georgievskaya Lenta, it's a symbol of it's used as a symbol of the victory over the Nazi Germany. And on 9th of May, you're gonna see many people with this lantern. How we say it? Just a sec. I will translate. Just a sec, dear friends. Oh yes, Georgievskaya ribbon. That's ribbon. That's a word. So it's a symbol of the victory. It's a symbol of the victory. And on 9th of May, you will see many people here in Russia and in some post-Soviet republics that will have this Georgivskaya lenta or ribbon. It's like in UK, you have a flower, isn't it? On 8th of May, many people have that symbol of the flower, and this Georgivskaya lenta plays a similar role here. And when it comes to history behind it, colors, by the way, colors can be associated with the flag of Russian Empire, for example, and many do associate. Just a sec. But when it comes to Saint George, when it comes to Saint George, it's Saint George's Orden was given. When Saint George's Orden was given, this orden was in this ribbon, and that's a link between the two. I hope I did the answer to the question, and sorry, dear friends, I have to check simultaneously some apps, and so yes, I hope I did answer to this question. Many people may associate this ribbon with the flag of Russian Empire, but directly there is a St. George's Orden that had this ribbon, and now it's associated with the victory over the Nazi Germany. And on 9th of May, many people will wear this ribbon, and on the streets, you may walk on the streets, and there will be people that will give it to you in parks, in the squares. It's usual stuff. Questions. Mr. Alex Storyteller is asking, could Russia sell AK-47s to French suburbs separatists as an answer to USA's delivery of long-range missiles to Ukraine? No, Russia can't do it and will not do it. That's my answer. I can understand this is this question is ironic question with some dark humor in it, but I can understand if some people will think that well, Russia will conduct some countermeasures against countries that are acting extremely hostile towards it. But whatever the case, Russian answer would not be in such a way that it may then eventually harm civilians. And therefore, it is absolutely impossible that Russia will transfer weapons or will share intelligence or will support in any ways any groups that potentially may harm civilians in their whatever struggle for independence or whatever the case, because Russia is not operating that way. But at some point, I believe Russia will have its response on Nord Stream, on Nord Stream attacks, on extreme hostility of their NATO member states, some of NATO member states towards Russia. I mean, it may take time. In Russia, we have a say that месть холодное блюдо и подается... Месть — это блюдо, которое подается холодным. Revenge is a dish that is served cold. So, It will take time. It will take time, but and yes, I mean, I can see Nidesh Kumar is answering to your question, and he is also highlighting that Alex, Russia is not a terrorist nation to do such a thing. Absolutely agree. There is no way that Russia will support anything that will potentially harm civilians. It's just not happening. Questions. Paket commenting, greetings from Moldova. Good evening, greetings to you, and greetings to all of the members of our community and dear friends. I don't know if you noticed, but today's update, when I was starting this stream, for that moment had 19,000 views. So somehow, I don't know how, but somehow we managed to deal with the algorithm today, and well, video was shown in the recommendations to YouTube community in large, and there was, I mean, already 19,000 views about an hour ago. So thank you all, dear friends. Without your comments, without your likes, it would not be possible. And of course, I have to thank members of our community that are sharing links to my videos. When I was watching these numbers, I was thinking maybe some members of our community shared link to today's update to some big channels somewhere, and that's why this relatively big number of views are on the video. That's a possibility also. I just don't really know, but I'm grateful for all of you for your attention and support. Questions. Once again, dear friends, sorry if I miss your question. Oh, dear friends, today is Вербное воскресенье. Вербное воскресенье in English. I don't even know how it is in English, but Orthodox Christianity is celebrating today Вербное воскресенье, and let me congratulate to all Orthodox members of our community. And as many of you know, on 5th of May we will celebrate Easter. So of course it's question David Faulkner, when is the parade and will it be covered by Yurlevan? I doubt YouTube will show it through Telegram or Rumble maybe. Of course I will definitely try to go into Moscow on 9th of May and make some video about parade. I will try to highlight some episodes at least of that parade. Although you know, I will try my best. And I will share video, of course, on YouTube, on Rumble, and on my Patreon. For my Patreon, I can also Patreon page. I can also make a video for that. In upcoming days, I will make video from Victory Park, where now exhibition have been prepared of the trophy weapon systems that Kiev regime was deploying on the line of contact, and NATO was providing with Kiev regime. This exhibition will open on 1st of May, and I can imagine it's gonna be a sea of people there, and probably it will be impossible to make some videos for a program. Of course you can make video, but for a program you need some space, and therefore I will wait for a couple of days, and then I will make video about that exhibition also, and of course about 9th of May. And I will definitely share with you on YouTube and Rumble. Russian militaries already are preparing for a parade, although on the videos that I see, I notice air defense systems, I notice infantry fighting vehicles, armored personnel carriers, most likely there will be strategic weapon systems, ICBMs, but I did not notice heavy military equipment, tanks for example, and maybe this year there will be no tanks like last year also, although I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about it. Maybe there will be some tanks also, but in any case I will definitely make video, and we'll share this video with our community. Needly 0101 is writing that St. George might be hailed as a national hero, but he was actually born in the century AD. Well, St. George, prototype of the St. George, I mean, in Christianity, it's a big story. I'm not expert, by the way, in this, but I can share with you my opinion, what I know and heard about it. Of course, there was a real prototype, real life hero that is St. George, but same time, by the way, in some cultures that was transferring to Orthodoxy, there was very strong sentiments towards their local heroes, religious heroes, and that some may call it pagan, but it was a religion. For example, Alan people, Alans, Ossetians, modern Ossetians, descendants of Alans, Skyphos-Sarmatians, and Alans are descendants of Skyphos-Sarmatians, of course. They had their own original religion that had huge influence, for example, on Hinduism, for example. They had that religion had a huge influence on Scandinavian legends, and Tur Heyerdahl, by the way, was even thinking that the Scandinavian legends about Thor and so on have their roots into this ancient Skyphos-Sarmatian religion. And in that religion there was Pantheon, by the way. So it was a religion. There was one god, and there was Pantheon, and there was saints. And in modern Ossetia, if you go now in Ossetia, and Ossetian people are Christians, Orthodox Christians since 7th century, there was on Russian territory, on modern Russian territory, first Christian eparchy was created in Alania, in northern Caucasus, and all these churches, by the way, are located there in northern Caucasus region, on the territories that used to be Alania at the time. And even though Ossetian people, descendants of Alans, are Orthodox Christians, vast majority, 95%, 95%, if you go there, you're gonna see very strong, how should I say it? Influence of, even nowadays, by the way, of that original religion of Skyphos-Sarmatians. And for example, there is a hero in that religion, Vastirji, and Vastirji now in modern days is associated with the Saint George, and that's how basically Christianity deal with these ancient beliefs that people had, ancient religions. So Vastirji was, identified with the Saint George, and as a result, Saint George is extremely, I mean, all saints are, of course, worshipped and have extreme respect for all of them. But Saint George is, I mean, is one of the major saints, if I may say this way. Sorry for my English, by the way. I cannot explain always in a better way what I want to say, but Saint George is very powerful, by the way. In Russia, of course, in Orthodoxy in general, and I believe Saint George has a huge role in Anglican Church also, and in Protestant churches, basically. And in Orthodoxy, obviously, also, and in Russia, in Georgia, among Ossetian people, of course. And Saint George himself, of course, has a historical prototype, and a member of our community is absolutely correct. He was born in Palestine, I believe, Cappadocia. He was born in Cappadocia. Member of our communities is telling us, so anyways, let's continue. And Michael Kennedy is commenting, Orthodoxy is essentially Eastern Roman Christianity. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. From Byzantium, from Byzantine Empire until now, entire this world, Eastern Roman Empire, and then rest of the countries that become Orthodox, they have roots in Byzantium, in Eastern Roman Empire, obviously. Yes. Question. Who was the dragon? I don't know, man. I'm not a theologist, so I'm not as religious. I'm just I was baptized when I was kid. I'm Orthodox Christian. I'm a Georgian Orthodox Christian, although Georgian and Russian Orthodox churches are sister churches, so I can go in Russian Orthodox church, and I'm welcomed. And I can go in any other Orthodox church, in Serbian Orthodox church, for example, and I'd be welcome, because all these churches are, are sister churches. So, who was the dragon? Yeah, I don't know. So, dear friends, we had a good chat, isn't it? We had a good chat. Hopefully, that informative part, news summary, you will find it interesting. I will use a number of these topics for tomorrow's first update, and well, it's already 1 hour. Let me check donation alerts and the Boosty. So no questions here, and I don't see questions in the chat also, so therefore Nidesh Kumar is asking about question. Where is your question, dear friend? Let me find it now. Let me find it now. Please, can you write your question once again, in case I did not find it? As I said, man, I mean, I'm gonna miss some questions. I'm now trying to find the question from Nidesh Kumar. I just can't. I just don't see it, man. Peter Cookson is asking, according to UK press, Su-24 performance has been disappointing. Any comments on this speculation? Well, Su-24s are Soviet-era fighter bombers, frontline bombers, and I don't know what British press meant by this criticism. It's a very old plane, one may say, and for its time it was a good plane. Even now, by the way, for example, Kiev regime is using Su-24 bombers to launch Storm Shadow and Scalp missiles, modified version, and Russian side is actively using Su-24s also to deliver these glide bombs, although probably many of you noticed that Russian side more and more actively are using Su-34s, next generation of frontline bombers. I don't know why, in a situation when there is no risk of air defense from air defense systems or enemy fighter jets, Su-24s can be extremely deadly. But in a situation when enemy may deploy fighter jets, for example, Su-24s will become very vulnerable, of course, very vulnerable, and they are, they cannot really operate as effectively in areas where enemy air defense systems are working actively. While Su-34 is much more modern plane, and it can even shut down. It's based on Su-27 aeroframe, so it is very capable plane. And in some circumstances, even though it's primarily a bomber, frontline bomber, Su-34 even can conduct air-to-air fight and beat number of fourth-generation fighter jets. But Su-24s, I mean, how can you be extremely critical of Su-34s when you know how old these planes really are? I mean, it's like 40 years, 50-year-old planes. It's, and well, I have to apologize for Nadesh Kumar for not finding. Yes, Ali Kasmaili is commenting Su-24s has been used effectively. I also think that they were used quite effectively, but yet again, it's old generation planes. And did Ukraine attack Crimean oil refinery? During the previous 24 hours, Kiev regime conducted strikes on you know what, I can tell you right now. No reports, I did not see reports about Crimea, but there was drone attacks in Krasnodar region yesterday, and one of the refineries even stopped working, cancel its work due to damage as a result of those drone strikes. It was yesterday or day before yesterday, but today I did not see any reports in Russian media about strikes in Crimea, on refineries in Crimea. If anything happened right now while I'm making this video, while I'm online, I don't know about it, but I can even check now. So for example, I'm checking now TASS news agency. There is nothing here about any strikes on Crimea. So, but a few days ago there was reports that yesterday or day before yesterday that one of the refineries stopped working in Krasnodar region, I believe, due to damage that was done by Ukrainian drones. And I report about it, by the way, I believe. And dear friends, if I may, I will end this live stream now. Once again, thank you all for your attention. Thank you all for your attention and support, and many thanks to all the members of our community who will see this video later on. And well, have a great day. Have a great day, and see you tomorrow. Thank you all once again. Oh, let me check before I go, by the way, to make sure that I don't miss nothing. So okay, so we had a interesting conversation. Don't be too critical, please, because after all there was quite a big pause, isn't it, because of these technical issues with the internet. It's like 2 or 3 weeks I did not have a live stream, and now I will have live stream on Wednesdays and Sundays, so I will gain better. I will be better prepared, let's say, in next during the next streams. So anyway, thank you very much once again. Have a great day and take care.